I want to thank everybody that's in here for coming. The purpose of this meeting is to get a lot of information to you guys to make sure that your senior year is a successful one. There's a panel of numerous people here that are going to give you information that you guys will need to follow up on. It's part of your responsibility to make sure that everything is taken care of prior to graduating. And make sure that everyone's on the same page there. My biggest piece of information that I have to get to you guys is make sure that you're socially responsible. Okay? I've been dealing with a few issues with some seniors down the road that potentially jeopardize your graduation. So make sure that you make wise choices and decisions in your social life so that they don't conflict with graduating. My biggest piece of advice to you is be proactive. Take care of all your business issues. Take care of all your degree plans prior to graduating. If you fail to do so, we don't want to get to May and have issues. And so if we have issues, we want to get them now resolved. And that's all back to you. That's your responsibility. Okay? Joy is somewhere in here. It's right here. She's going to follow up with some things posted.
Well, I'm not real sure what I have to tell you about after graduation, because sometimes I feel like I never graduated. I just stayed here. Although I don't go to school anymore. I'm done with that for a while. There's lots of things about life after graduation. I guess my biggest piece of advice or something I would tell you is probably not a wise idea to wait until like May 8th to go, I need to move somewhere. Because we'll kick you out of the dorm on graduation day. And you need to have somewhere to take your stuff. And unless you want to go back to mom and dad's basement or the sewing room they made out of your bedroom or whatever you want, it might be a wise idea to begin some looking and some planning and some doing there. But I will say, my job is retention coordinator. I worked with you guys since you came as freshmen. This is the first class of students which I can say that about, and I'm pretty excited to see you graduating and moving on, but it's sad to say that statistically there will be a few of you who don't. Please, let me be your contact once you're gone, once you're not living in our residence halls, but you still don't have the piece of paper with Dr. Inman's signature on it. Let me help you work with your advisor, work with the registrar's office, whatever we need to do so that we can help you get graduated. Please don't assume that just because you're going to go home and take a community college class to make up for the one that you didn't finish here or the one that you didn't finish successfully here, that that's going to suffice and be okay and things are going to slide right in place. It doesn't work that way, as you're going to hear from Dr. Healy. And so there are some things, some processes that need to happen, but we also need to make sure the courses you sign up for are going to work for what you need, the requirement you need fulfilled, etc. So make sure that you keep in contact with us back here if you don't walk away with that piece of paper. If you do walk away with a piece of paper and it's signed, congratulations, and we'll be incredibly pleased to call you a graduate of Central Methodist, not just an alum, and we hope that you'll come back to see us, and you'll come back to check and see how things are going on and help us keep those new students that keep coming along. If you have questions through this whole process of graduation, if your parents have questions through this whole process, let me know, and I'll be happy to get you to the office that can answer your question. Let you know when and where to contact the bookstore about this, when and where to contact your advisor about that, who you can talk to about this. No, your dad can't make you graduate even though you failed response. Doesn't matter how loud he screams. There's lots of things that can kind of help you work through the system and get into the right office. So I will then turn it over to Dr. Healy, who gets the distinct pleasure of telling you what it's going to take for you to finish up and be done.
Thank you. We want to make sure that a lot of students are on track. Most of you probably are. But every year we have people whose graduation date is delayed for a number of reasons. So we just want to remind you, if you say, I've heard this all before, we don't have much time with that. First of all, I want to emphasize something that Salud said. If you're an education major, you really don't want to get arrested or a ticket executive for anything serious in the last year. Remember, you're going to have to do background checks. This could cost you a job, so don't do that to yourself. One of the things that we have been emphasizing with advisors for your whole time here is working on degree plans. If you don't know what a degree plan is, you need to make a beeline to your advisor as soon as possible. The degree plan is really just a checklist of all the courses you have taken and passed and where they fit into your graduation requirements for whatever degree program you're in. Now, if you don't have a degree plan on file by the end of this semester, if you're planning to graduate in May, you need to get that taken care of as soon as possible. The degree plan is important for you, for your advisor, and for the registrar's office. And the registrar's office, just because it gets filed, the registrar's office does not automatically approve that. So you have to make sure that you keep in contact with your advisor. Have I fulfilled all the requirements? We don't want to find out in April that you are missing a class. Okay? So if the registrar gets that and approves it, as long as you're taking the coursework in the spring that you say you're going to take, then you're fine. But if you decide to take other courses, if you drop a class that you needed to fulfill the 24 hours, you have to file, or you have to talk to your advisor about changes or substitutions in your degree plan. So if everything's on track, if you enroll for the spring and what you say, or if you are planning to take a May course or a summer class to fulfill that requirement, you can make sure that that's part of your degree plan, make sure that the registrar and the advisor know. Now, come May, if you start throwing fits because you didn't know you needed to talk to somebody about this, there's not much that can be done to immediately find a substitution that will get you out of here. Sometimes some of your requirements are very particular to taking a class here. So be really careful. You don't want to let that happen. And if you have any doubts, talk to me, talk to your advisor, talk to the dean, anybody else in the dean's office, talk to the registrar. You should get a printed copy with all the signatures on it saying that you are either ready for graduation in the spring, or you're ready for graduation as long as you take X, Y, and Z, okay? So there may still be some stipulations, but if you understand that before pre-registration in next month, then you're fine and you'll be able to work all that out with your advisor. So please make sure you work with your advisor, get the degree plan, and get it signed up. If you do have to make substitutions, there's still plenty of time to talk to your advisor. You might have to make an appeal to the Academic Standards Committee. Would it be okay if we substitute this class for this other requirement? You still have time to do that, but don't wait until December or January. Now, one of the reasons we encourage you to do this efficiently and get all this done on time is some of you will be offered jobs dependent on your graduation date. Some of you will get jobs ahead of that graduation date or make them get those offers. And this has happened. There are people who get jobs where they were required to have a bachelor's degree by a certain date, and they putzed around, they didn't get their degree plan done, they didn't get everything filed properly, and they didn't graduate on that time, and they lost their jobs. Okay? You might even not get a job offer if you cannot show and certify that you had graduated as of May or whenever you say you're going to graduate. So there are long-term implications. You might lose a job you already have, or you might not get a job offer. So take care of that business now. And if there are, like I said, if there are any doubts about graduation date, when you're going to be done, what you need to do to fulfill that, again, talk to your advisor, talk to me, talk to the registrar. One of the things that you will have to pay, and there will be some information coming up from Tracy Crow-Jones, you are all required to pay the $75 graduation fee, whether you go to the senior lunch, whether you attend graduation, whether you get cap and gown to attend, you still all pay the $75 fee. So I would encourage you to take full advantage of what that $75 fee pays for. Okay? You're required to pay it. We hope that you take full advantage of coming to the commencement exercises, going to the senior lunch, and all the other attendant activities that are going on. One last piece of advice, kind of a pep talk. For a lot of you, this is the end of your undergraduate time here, but you're also hoping to go on to graduate school or some other activity. Don't let up this year. Okay? The last year, I know you're all going to start about maybe January 1st, getting spring fever and senioritis. That's not a time, though, to let up if in fact, the importance of your grades will carry over into graduate application or something like that. So don't let up. And as everybody will be encouraging you, think about post-May or whenever you're going to actually think long-term beyond that as well. Anybody have any questions about any of the information I gave you about the training plan or anything? All right, next is Tracy Jones, and we'll talk to you. I'm sorry, Tracy, we'll talk to you about financial aid and other matters.
I actually just had a couple of things. I just wanted to restate what you mentioned about the $75 graduation. That will be on your spring voice, and don't make any participation in the ceremony. Do $75. Also, early next spring, please check in with financial aid and at the business office. I want to make sure you have all of your costs covered and turning balance will not be able to walk in the graduation ceremony. So early in the spring, so your balance will be at the raise program to be able to come up with funds to cover your semester. So early in the spring, please check in at the business office and financial aid. That's the question. And it's that kind of the same thing, instead of kind of waiting till spring, come in very short session. And sometimes that way you don't have the funds to cover it, you can offer grants to the outside finances. The last thing is make sure that you attend the senior fair, which will be because at that time we will have involved loan counseling, exit counseling, and executive or purchase loans. We'll have to do the exit counseling for that, and we will also have printouts for that. We'll have programs of all of your loans from day one of your college. Correct, yeah, that's exactly right. You are graduating in December instead of doing these senior fair next spring. Just come by the financial aid office and we will get you your own information at that time. You can also go by the business office and the purpose loan exit counseling. So we do exit counseling for the staff and the and I feel like the option is ready to just move on.
Gowns, their orders. This usually is scheduled
pay now 65% of jobs are so really need to be on research and these have been graduates for interviews last year out of this campus that have actually said it was most important. I will point out that our third year is almost seniors. Last year we had fewer seniors than our freshmen. So I hope this senior class will be this chance to talk to you guys. Internships are very important. That really makes a difference in today's world. So we don't have to understand this semester. I want to spend a little time, most of you know some of the things that we have in center teams. We really want to point out what is available on our website. We pay a lot of money for all the resources, and a lot of times students don't know what's on there. So I wanted to just spend a second to show you some of the things that are on the website. We have state-of-the-art resources that a lot of resources are available. And I'm really proud that we're able to offer that. It's taken us for so long, but I love that. I wanted to point out, most of you know about the assessment, so if you're confused about really what you want to do, you want to take the assessment. We also have CV3 and OMAT, and these are like, if you saw a job, like research analyst, and you didn't really know what that was, you could go on those and really describe what tasks are involved, what skills are involved, what you can do after salaries, that type of thing. So those are important resources for you to use. Also, if you're writing a cover letter for your job, maybe it's about nursing or whatever, you want to look on there anyway because it will give you the key skills that job's looking for. You can target your resume to really be impressive
mostly in Missouri, but we do have them that take place in other states. We have tailgates for a few of the football games, and those are always open to alumni, friends of the university, parents of current students and past students. We have an event here at Lake Bourgeois in the spring. We have Christmas parties in St. Louis. So these are, for the most part, free events that we would just love for you all to come to. And when those events are coming up, you'll get something in the mail, something within the area that you're living in. We also have an alumni e-newsletter that goes out every month. So one of the things that is important for us, for numerous reasons, is for you to update us on where you're living, what your current address is, what your current phone number and email are. That way we can get in touch with you if you have events that you're going on. We can send you the e-newsletter that gives you updates on how the school is changing, what's going on, academics, and may highlight our students, information on renovations going on, things like that. Let's see. We have an alumni magazine, All the Talent. You may have seen it around the end of the sun. It comes out twice a year, and it's usually about between 60 and 80 pages, full of information about, again, what's going on campus, but also what's going on with our alumni. There's a section called class notes, and whenever you all have job changes, if you've gotten married, if you've had a child, you send that information to the alumni office, which you can do through the CHU website. And that information, unless you request for it not to be, is then printed in the Talent, which is our alumni magazine. So it's a great way for you to look at your class year and as years round, you can find out who's living where, what's going on, and who they married, and all of those great things and are kept in touch. One of the other things we have on our website is alumni, and then on our website you may have noticed there's a button that says alumni and friends. If you click on that, once you are coded as a graduate, there is what's called the CMU Alumni Equal Connection, and it's a lot like Facebook, except it's just for Central graduates. And so it's another place where you can go find out where your friends are. You can post photos, send emails to not just one person, but groups can be created. So we've got a group that intramurals together, and you want to have a group that's something creates. So that's another really good resource for you, and that's the way that you can connect with us. Other things that you can do are things like mentoring a student. This is something that we are continuing to develop more and more every year. And the Learning Computers has a big part in that, and we have some alumni who really take hold of that and try to claim some ownership of that. The business department is developing one with a lot of John planners on that. We've got other areas where we're trying to develop that. So if you think that that's something that you like to do and help a student try to figure out sort of where they want to go next, or how you got to where you were, how you got your job, things like that, we'd love to have you come back, not just as an alumni to enjoy events, but as an alumni to help support the university, because a lot of what you all have experienced is because of something that the school has gotten from alumni. We have about 14,000 alumni across the world, all 50 states, and a lot of